Oh, okay, cool.
I thought like I did with LOL.
Yeah, we won't get too into it, but
No, that's fine. You're more than welcome. We can get into it as deep as we need to.
all right. Dan, does your have do you have a zero in front of your name in the game, or is it Dan 357? Because I feel like we just played somebody in War that was like Dan 357, or if it's just somebody trying to be cool, trying to copy his name. Or maybe he doesn't want to talk about his name in the game. People bombard him.
Bombard him.
I don't know.
Dan's good people. He's probably here just listening,
Hanging in.
hanging out. I
Just
know. I know him and I both hang out in the UMCLC podcast as well.
that always seems to come on right as I'm eating dinner, or like I'm
Yeah, that
getting
would
things
probably make sense.
ready and stuff. So
That makes sense because it comes on at eight p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
yeah, that's when I
So
start
it should be
getting.
about 5 o'clock.
That's when
Yeah,
I
about
start
five
getting the
o'clock.
oven going and all that stuff. So I'm running in and out of it.
Yeah, you should just put it on your phone and let it play in the background.
Yeah, I don't think everybody else in the house really wants to hear about Marvel stuff.
You don't have like a Bluetooth in
Yeah,
your
I
ear.
guess I could.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I put a Bluetooth in my ear and I listen. I do that with
Yeah.
Dan and Rich's podcast. I
Okay.
do that with ours when we're kind of like just back listening to it.
Yeah.
I'll just throw the Bluetooth in.
Yeah, I do that typically like in the mornings when I'm like, kind of herding all the cats in all the different alliances, if you will. I'll kind of poke through all of this stuff,
Yeah,
catch up on all the old news.
turn that down.
I was like, you got like a water feature going on in your room?
That's my tablet.
Okay.
Tablet. I'm trying to get some arena going too.
Okay.
Oh, before we get going, I ain't even looked at this week's stuff. There we go. Boycott. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to go too much into it.
Yeah, but I can answer that one in a few words. Not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Dan, arena grinding is great with podcasting. Marvin, Martin, Martin. Don't start that, man. Don't start that. Don't start
I mean,
that.
sucks sometimes what you say just gets stuck out there.
Oh, people like Hyena live for the troll moments.
Like the name hyena fits then, right?
Yes. Uh, give a couple more minutes to get people in.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Man,
Some good stuff, huh?
yeah,
I was talking about the coughing.
yeah, some good stuff. I, I think that I've literally been in the house too much this weekend.
Okay.
Like all I want to do is sleep.
You know, I'll never get that because I'm not much of a sleeper. So
I'm not much of a sleeper either, but today I woke up at my normal time, checked on War, was trying to get finished up there, and I had asked somebody, hey, can you take down this, and this? Um, and before they responded, I had noticed I had nodded back off, and it was an hour later.
Nice.
I was like, uh, and they hit me up and said, "Yeah, I got them all down. If you want to take down Havoc, and then we should be able to take down the boss." I have about 7 minutes left in my boost, and I'd seen that about 15 minutes too late.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah, so I ended up going in.
Yeah, man, I don't care if you invite here. This is just a bunch of other trolls to hear to troll Ghost Dog. Should we just change the name to Troll Room?
My trolls are good trolls. My trolls are good trolls. Yeah.
No, I know. It's funny to me. They're all funny. So
the only one who probably gets on my nerves the most is Hyena.
Just because he's good at it.
Yeah, he gets underneath the skin sometimes.
That's fair. Part of the territory, I guess, right?
Yeah. Hyena's the troll that when I didn't have Doom would tease me about not having Doom, and then when I pulled Doom and I duped them, now I'm just hogging Doom.
Yeah, so exactly.
I troll if I did, troll if I didn't.
That's funny.
All right, I'm ready whenever you are.
Yeah, man. Let's get it rolling. Get it rolling. Let's get Clyde in here.
Now recording.
You know what? I just had to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Do that. Hello, everybody. These are based on accusations you would never. Hyena, yes, you would. Does anybody else hate fighting MODOK in the arena? Fighting MODOK in the arena is the worst. Hey, Billy D. Actually, who's this? There we go. Cool. Oh, man. Oh, we got Affliction, Billy D, Dan, Gio, Hyena, Martin, and Silver. And so far. Yeah, if you guys want to invite other people, you're more than welcome to invite people to the podcast. We will not be offended.
Not at all. All right. Deep breath.
Let's do this.
Pull up a chair, and the Marvel Champions.
Come on. Why is this being such a pain lately? Such a pain. All right. Well,
I know, and it's such a good opening.
Right. Pull up a chair for the Marvel Champions Lounge. Anyways, I'm Moose. Ghost Dog. How you doing, man? How's it going?
Nah, doing well. How's it going?
I'm doing all right, man. I'd be a lot better if that was smooth, but hey, it happens. It'll be smooth on the the published version.
Yeah.
But anyways, man, yeah, no, I wanted to start off, with all the good news that happened this week, and you finally, you did your Abyss run, all that prep
Yeah.
for it and all that stuff. You made it through the Abyss. You stared at it, right? Did it stare
Yeah,
back?
I stared at it, stared back, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, man. So, like, generally, how'd you feel about it? What was what was the most? I wouldn't say easiest, but what was the easiest fight, and what was like the toughest fight?
Captain Marvel movie fight was definitely the easiest of all the fights. With
Okay.
pretty much any Mystic, but Doom especially. Just keep
Makes
constantly
sense.
throwing your specials, and just watch her melt. Tick for like 85,000 per second.
Yeah, those were some crazy numbers, man. I tried to watch as much of it as I could, but yeah, no, that was awesome. That was a good time. So, who was probably the most difficult?
Um, the Mephisto fight was bad because
Okay.
with Human Torch, if he isn't awakened,
Yeah.
you're almost never guaranteed to get back. You're guaranteed not to get back your flame on. So if you don't
For sure.
one shot it, then you're pretty much toast. And it's a long fight at that point.
Yeah, I did.
That was a pretty long fight.
I did watch that one.
Yeah, that took most of the first day
Okay,
streaming.
fun. Yeah,
I would say that was probably a half an hour.
I was gonna say, I didn't. Wasn't the stream kind of being a pain at that? Was it that
Well,
fight?
the stream itself, yeah, I don't know if it's my computer, if it's my internet. I can't
Yeah.
have net yet to figure that out.
Yeah.
If what keeps dropping it.
Okay.
Yeah, so both days I had like multiple streams for that day.
Yeah, no, man,
So-
I thought you were doing great, man. Like there was, I would say there was probably a lot of distractions while you were going on and through that, especially in that Human Torch fight. So you fought through them well, and at the end of the day, I think you got through it. So
Yeah. Actually, the collector fight was I guess because I knew that you're gonna go in, you're gonna die,
For
and
sure.
it's gonna be pretty bad. That it wasn't really that bad.
Okay, like less stressful, I guess, because you were kind of
Yeah,
prepared
yeah,
for it.
like you just hold heavy with Aegon. I just held heavy and kind of got hit. And most times, if I got hit, I didn't get stunned.
Okay.
And you can battle through the heavy. You get like 6 Furies plus the Furies that he gets from landing punches. It was like 27,000 per hit or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
So-
need him. I really need him.
Yeah, I look. MSD did it without it.
I'm not
I
MSD.
would not.
It's not MSD.
I would not recommend for those to do it without Aegon.
No, that makes sense, man. What's funny is I was so just real quick of my 3D printing thing. Since you brought up MSD, I'm trying to make like a replica, I guess, if you will, like of that trophy, right? Could try to 3D print it because I have like the files for it, but like it's a real pain because it's a floating piece, right? It's a floating piece, so it'd be hard to put together. But anyways, I watched the MSD fight when he was at the New York Comic Con.
Right.
That was freaking incredible, man. Like,
It was.
like I don't. And that was like kind of how long had that been out for?
The 6'2" boss fight had maybe a couple of months, maybe.
Okay, so I guess you could practice a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, it had a little bit of practice, but not a lot.
yeah. But yeah, no, that was crazy. So yeah, no, I'm no MSD, so I need my Aegon for those kind of things. So I look forward to having that. So I don't know if you want to go too far into it, but did you get some good rewards? Did you hold them? I mean, I know you're
Oh
probably
yeah, I
going to
did. I
make a
put the
video.
video out for the rewards,
Okay.
all that. Yeah.
I did see it. I
Um,
just didn't know if you wanted to go out for it.
No, we can go into
Okay.
it.
Didn't seem too happy about it. I mean, not sad about it, but like I guess there was probably left you wanting more, right?
Yeah, it kind of did leave me wanting more.
Yeah.
So I got the T5CC skill.
Okay.
Which is okay. I could use that for Stealth Spidey. But I was looking for something hopefully to bump my prestige
Okay.
for my current alliance because I could help. Then we could alleviate some of the pressure from some of the smaller guys
Yeah,
that don't quite have prestige at that point.
for sure.
Kind of help bump with the score. And I was hoping for a cosmic or a science in reality, but I was happy to get anyone but tech. Anyone but tech I could use.
I was gonna say, who Cosmic, you have Movie Marvel and Corvus, right?
and Corvus.
So that would have been
either one.
kind of a tough choice, but
Yeah, that'd have been the coin flip.
yeah, right.
And then I was extremely happy that I didn't get the Cosmic Awakening gem. I got the Mutant one.
Okay,
I don't really have anybody using on directly at the moment. I do. I mean, I could use it on Colossus, but it's not necessarily worth it at the moment to use on Colossus.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm going to hold on to that for a little bit and see if I can maybe pull, a 6-star Omega Red or maybe a Namor or somebody like that.
Nice, for sure. That'd be awesome, man. Science. Who would you have ranked?
Human Torch.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got the Human Torch. Yeah, for sure. He would have been. That would have been great.
That would have been great for you.
Yeah. No, you know what? I actually, you said Colossus. I ranked 5 him this past week, and oh my god, he is a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, he is fun.
I got Emma, and I got all the good synergies for him. So like, he's crazy fun, man. I feel like
he's a lot of fun.
He's gonna help me through Act 6 here.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna try to do the completion first. So.
Yeah, the changes they made to him are definitely beneficial to all players of all levels.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 features that were a dupe of my Electro and then a first-time pull A-Bomb 5-star. So 2 exclusive champs, not necessarily what I was wanting from there. And
you're not happy with Abomination?
I mean,
no, I know. I'm just.
It's not that I'm not happy. It's because he's exclusive, so I can't get him in the basic.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes to the collector mentality of, oh, I got this champ that I can't get from a regular crystal.
Right.
But I there are other champs in that feature crystal I really, really, really want it.
Absolutely.
And then like I said, I duped my Electro, which I was kind of like, okay. And then basic 5 stars were a dupe of my Iceman. And another dupe, a second time dupe on Iron Patriot. So
woohoo!
Not too good on those.
I've got an Iron Patriot 9 times, so I'm pretty numb to it at this point.
Wasn't too thrilled about the basic 5-star pools. And then I had you get 20,000 shards, 20,000 6-star shards.
Yeah.
And so 2 6-star champs, and one was Ant-Man. So I was overly excited about Ant-Man.
You overly excited?
Overly excited. No,
I'm not getting. I was gonna say, like, you're doing real good at like not throwing any sarcasm in there. Like, you're just really good at that. I was like,
and then I did pull a 6-star Invisible Woman, which was the best of all the pulls.
Okay, nice. She was my last 6-star, my first 6-star. So, I'm not bad. I finally got to put, get somebody off my war team that I could use. But Cap, actually, I got him off my war team, which I was excited about. Or did I? I don't know, whatever. But I got her too, so she's fun.
Good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was, like I said, it wasn't anything like, oh my God, it was groundbreaking champs here and there. Like, no, it was definitely, there were some good champs and there were some, not so good champs.
Yeah. Balanced out.
And I got stuff that I could use. I got 20,000. I got 20 6-star shard crystals. So I was able to open those up, and I was able to put some I put a couple in the Captain Marvel movie, put a couple into Corvus. I put some in nobody else. Nobody else. But I got them saved up now. But it was a nice even spread. It wasn't like a bunch of one or another.
Okay. Awesome. Well, cool, man. And then also, like, while you were doing the Abyss, you hit your 100. You hit your 1,000 subs, right? Subscribers to the channel, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was great. I mean, ILAC rated me. Lord Shadow rated me. I think Brian Grant rated me at one point in this past week. I don't think during that stream. I had a couple different people rate me during that time, so it really helped out. And a bunch of people were subscribing, and before that, all my subs before that were already there trying to help me out. So I appreciate everybody who subscribes to my YouTube page. I do it for fun. I don't necessarily do it for the money, but if I'm going to do it for the money, I'm doing it to put everything back into the channel, something to improve something, whether it's like now is getting a new chair. I need a new chair. The chair I have, it's cool. It sits too low. It's not really made for the big boy.
What are you
Not
talking?
made for the tall people.
You're petite.
Yeah, I'm petite.
Same here. I'm petite as well. No, cool, man. That's awesome. Well, congratulations on both those things, man. So, do you plan on doing Abyss any exploration anytime soon?
I will probably do another lane or two in August.
Okay.
August, September. That's the next time I'm really off work for extended amount of time.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to do the
Kinda hard.
streams in
Yeah,
like
kinda
little
hard.
bits and pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it over a weekend.
Yeah.
Like maybe when there's a weekend when there's no war or when it's off war season and no AQ.
Yeah.
I can do it over that point, but it's a little rougher, especially when I got things like I run around my mom on Saturdays, and then got the grandkids come over on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Like I was going to do the stream last night, and then
I saw that.
they walked in last night. I was like, well, I guess I won't be streaming tonight.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, especially in times like this, man. Like, hang
Yeah,
out with them.
I don't get to see them both that often.
Okay.
But they were both supposed to be here yesterday.
Nice.
Only one ended up making it.
Well,
But that was the granddaughter. She's the oldest.
there you go.
She loves spending time, especially when I'm on streaming. If you guys ever watched the stream when she's around, she always comes in and wants to look at herself on the
That's awesome.
computer.
That's awesome. That's so much fun. Kids are fun with cameras and stuff like that. And get all our little friends watching. That's fun. Awesome, man. Well, yeah, awesome. Congratulations again, man, and
Thank you.
all the better luck more to you moving forward. So,
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
So since also last we talked, I guess the game, a few announcements in the game happened.
Yeah.
There was, I guess, a lot of the news really this week was kind of about all the boycotts or kind of lack thereof, and both sides of them. And I don't know, there was just a whole lot of. It seemed, all of it really kind of seemed like a joke to me, to be honest with you. Like every little bit of it all seemed like a joke. So,
Like I get it. Here's and I always tell people. I've been telling people this on all streams. It's like they understand your concerns.
Yeah.
But the concerns you gave them 3 weeks ago are not going to be implemented right away.
it's not gonna take 3
It
weeks.
takes time to maneuver stuff in the game the way and figure out how to all make it work properly.
Exactly.
Because they, like I say all the time, they're a for-profit company.
Yeah.
they figure out a way to keep their profits going, but also allow the player to feel like that they're being listened to at the same
For
time.
sure.
So I'd say give them another month or two, and see what kind of other changes are coming along the way.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I thought all of it was kind of silly. And exactly, like, I mean, if it takes them 8 months to redo dungeons or whatever, it's not going to take them 3 weeks to change the entire game. I mean, I thought, what was my point? Dang, I missed my point. Totally, just out the door it went. But I mean, I thought, like, with the boycotts, really is kind of, I guess, where we were going with it, was like, I think a lot of good came from it, because not like boycotts, but just, I guess, all of the chatter that's been going on lately, like people, oh no, I figured out my point. I remembered. Here we go. We're back on board.
All right.
So people ask me, like, in the Empire chats and stuff, like, what do you think about the boycotts? How do you feel about them? Like, are we boycotting? And I'm like, I mean, for one, I'm not going to tell you whether to do it or not. I mean, it's up to you, but here's my opinion. And yeah, I mean, if you really, like, boycotting is not going to do anything. How many times have we seen boycotts not really do anything? I mean, I guess maybe 12.0 one, it kind of helps, but I mean, I think there was more chatter anyways than people just literally stopping the game at that point. So, I don't think boycotts ever really did anything. I think where you hit them is, like you're saying, constructive criticism, like map it out, like make a valiant effort to make it sound believable in some sort of way, and keep voicing your concern in a way, and put your wallets away. Like, if they're not making money, they're gonna have to start listening to people that they're supposed to be making money from. So at the end of the day, if you're gonna boycott anything, just don't spend the money, but like play the game.
Right, Now, and I always tell people, if you're unhappy with pools, if you're unhappy with this, you're unhappy with that, if if you're constantly complaining about the game, it may be time to put the game down for a little while.
Right.
It's a game. Step away for a week, a month, however long it takes you, and then come back to it. If you still are having the same complaints, um, then maybe it's time to find a new game,
A new hobby. Yeah. Right.
new hobby. Yeah,
Exactly.
find something else to do. Like, because it's supposed to be enjoyable. So if it becomes to the point where it's no longer enjoyable for you, then it may be time to move on.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think I reached a point. I took a break, maybe at the beginning of the year, around there, and I took a break really because, yeah, I woke up, thought about the game, and I wasn't having fun. I wasn't enjoying it. It just wasn't fun. So I took a break. I didn't log in for a couple days, didn't log in for a week here, just kind of did whatever, but took a break. And after a week or a month, or I think it was about a month or so of not really doing anything, I was kind of like, all right, so I'll start kind of getting back into it. And then I got back into Alliance, and I got this and I got that. So, I found a different appreciation for it as far as like a hobby. I wasn't like, oh, they need to do this and they need to do that. I mean, I know I talk about, that on this and everything like that because, I do feel that way. Exactly.
Our job here is to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, and I still believe those things, obviously. But, I enjoy the game. It's a hobby. It's a fun hobby. I do think that they need to address these issues to make it a more fun and enjoyable game. But boycotting it, even just like what Peter, it's Peter was saying, boycotting it would be however people do it. The boycott that they were trying to do was just not logging in,
Right.
I don't know what that's going to do, even though they were logging in and, people were logging in to check, and it's like, whatever. I mean, like, other people are going to tell you on social media whether other people are logging in or not. You don't have to do it, so like at the end of the day, it's all kind of silly in my book.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think everything that came from it, good, bad, whatever, there's been a lot of constructive, criticism out there. There's been a lot of people having some fantastic ideas. And I think I'd like to showcase some of those. Is there any like fantastic ideas that you've seen like within your Alliance and stuff like that
in the Alliance
have stuck with you, or just on Twitter or whatever that have kind of stuck with you?
The biggest thing I keep seeing, I keep hearing, and I kind of agree with is either one of two things: either 30-minute timers in AQ, or no timers at all. I think the no timer at all thing probably would never happen, but the 30-minute timer, I like the idea. It gives you opportunity to move more. Most people can finish most of the map before they go to bed at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and I think we chatted about that last, kind of week with ILAC, and he brought up a good point. People would just push you to finish it by the end of the night, and what would get you to log in, whatever. So there's definitely things, and I think that would help. I saw another thing on there, and I think it was Frojo34. I liked his point. He made a point, and I was cruising on Starfighter. She put a post on about, if you could have a magic wand and change 4 things, what would they be? So I was cruising through there. So yeah, those were awesome points, and thanks for putting that out there. And there were awesome points out there. Frojo, he said 8 energy instead of 5 for an Alliance quest. And that gives you, that's 8. You wouldn't have to change timers or anything, but having 8, that's a work day. You can at least get your stuff in before work and after work, and then even in the middle there, you'd have to be able to do it. So I thought that was a great idea. I thought 8 is great, with Alliance quests, I even think like 34 45 minutes is even, I didn't do any of the math or anything like that, but I think even 45 minutes gives you an extra few, like that extra hour or something. So, that could help out. But I definitely think they're going to need to adjust the timers, because that's a huge concern with everybody. Everybody's talking about how much that's a concern, but there's definitely been some good ideas out there. And then Newbie, I thought it was Ian Newbie out there. He had a great one, and that was being notified when you're clear, as opposed to having to rely on an outside text or an outside chat.
How many times have you waited for your Alliance mate to say, "Oh yeah, I cleared you"? and they never do.
You know, I mean to, and then I getting caught into another chat and I completely forget to do that. So exactly, you know, like it happens, but I think, yeah, I think that's a great thing. And I don't think it would be very difficult. I mean, they tell you when your 4-hour crystal's ready. Couldn't they, like, I don't think it would be too tough to add that in there. And even if it was just, you know, like how it tells you when Alliance Quest is done and then like attack is started again or something like that, those kind of notifications when you open it, I think even that would be helpful. Something, you know, or like, you know, even like put a tag on it, you know, just something to indicate.
I do like some of the quality of life changes they're making for officers. As being an officer currently, I've been a leader and I've been an officer in several other alliances. I think those are important because, you know, instead of me going to saying, "Hey, so and so, can I get you to screenshot me your champ?"
For sure.
Now I have this other thing that I can look at and get things taken care of.
And I hope that I don't know, you know, how are people going to use that? That's the thing, right? Are people going to be trustworthy? Are they going to not put champs up there so they can use them for their questing and stuff like that? So, I mean, I don't know, whatever. That's all going to still happen. I mean,
I think initially you'll still have to get that screenshot.
You'll have to dig a little deeper for sure.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. But you know, I thought Dan has a good point here. The assigned paths, like, so I'm sure what he's probably assuming is you could just say, you know, if you're my officer or something, I can only take one path. I think that would be a great idea if you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Like, there's only one way to do it. Exactly. Like, there's nothing. There's no excuse. You just have to log in and do it. I think that would be great. I saw another one on there. I forgot who did it, but even just for like war, instead of having to place people, if everything was just randomized, like everybody would just put their champs in.
War defense.
Yeah, I think
put it in the same spot. Yeah, that would be kind of cool because, you know, you get that person who thought they put their war defense in. You've been tagging them all day. They're stuck at work. They don't see the tag until after war starts.
For sure.
It happened to us this week.
No, that sucks. I was gonna say that's pretty accurate. That's pretty like fresh.
Yeah, happened to us this week.
Fair enough, yeah.
It happened to me in my BG. I tagged the guy 5 times throughout the day, from the morning until the war started, and he's like, "Man, I thought I already put everything in." And I said, "Well, you didn't."
That's frustrating.
But if I could have just had that place last war defense button.
Yeah. No, exactly. That'd be cool. That would definitely be helpful. You know, one thing about war that, you know, I know when I'm placing, it's really frustrating placing. Like, just, you can't zoom out far enough. The view of it, sometimes champs get in the way of like the little nodes, so you can't push the little node, which is frustrating. Or when you're, you know, want to move one champ from one corner to the other, it probably gets stuck 4 times along the way because you got to scroll 6 times. Like, it's
a lot of scrolling, a lot of it seems like I know I clicked the champ, but they were lit up when I went there, and now I'm over here on this side of the screen, they're not lit anymore.
Right? Yeah. So that was definitely frustrating, and that's just like a quality of life thing that I would just love. I don't see why you can't just have it head on, zoom out, like, you know, so you can see. I got good eyes, or you got an iPad or whatever, you got a tablet, you can zoom out so you can see it better. Or even if you just kind of like maybe had it, you know, like kind of where you could just like match up things on a completely different screen or something. I don't know. But if there was some sort of way to adjust that, it would definitely be a quality of life that wouldn't take 20 minutes to adjust everything. It would take maybe 5, you know, and that'd be nice for sure.
Right. Because I always love going in, you know, half an hour, 20 minutes before war, start moving things around, and something doesn't move the way I need it to. It's the work.
Yeah, well, exactly. The most frustrating thing is you're like, I thought I clicked that champ. Oh no, I dropped him right in the middle. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Yeah. Now I got to move 6 other champs. But I also think like another thing in war is like the war to war rewards really just, you know, like are irrelevant these days. And I don't know why they haven't revamped it. I know they are revamping it. And I think they, you know, well, I don't know if they are revamping rewards, I should say, but they do seem to, with the whole was it the Collector or the Grandmaster is taking over?
Yeah.
War?
The Collector's
one of those
war,
guys.
I think.
Yeah. So, you know, so that should be fun. Hopefully they revamp it, a little better rewards just to make it more enticing. You know, like I recruit right now for too many alliances, 4+, I guess. But one of the main things is people don't want is war, and it sucks, and even I was talking to another gentleman out there, and he was talking about how we do war right and how a lot of people don't. And it's like, well, we just do it pretty easily. Like, one, you find guys who would enjoy the strategy behind it. But two, you just kind of make it easy. Here's a screenshot, follow it. If you don't, I don't understand why you can't follow it. It takes you 5 minutes, and we're taking all of the thought out of it for you.
Right.
But so I think if they did, make reward, because the rewards from 1-to-1 just, it's not worth it. And even the season rewards, they make it kind of nice for you to hang on, but
all rewards probably need a little bit of a little kick up
for sure.
I mean, like at our current tier, or the tier we were in before we lost, we were in tier 5. And we get like 40 6-star shards. Ooh.
Like, what's that going to do these days, right? And that's the other thing. You brought that up, like how many shards. I could see, I guess, that because they don't want to have so many 6 stars in the game. Like, it needs to be bumped up a little bit, 100%.
What would be the point? I mean, at 150, it's still gonna take me forever.
Exactly. 100, exactly. My thing is 5 stars though. Like, we're getting so many 5 stars now. I think I got like 6 this month. I mean, I think I was just kind of luckier from the rifts, but I got like a lot of 2,000 or 1,000 like shards there. But why are there's still so difficult to rank them up? And you know what? That was another thing somebody pointed out. They ranked 4 5-star and didn't even get like 2 levels on a level up event. Talk about needing an update, right?
The level up event has always been that way.
I get it. It's just like it's frustrating.
It's not star specific. It's level specific.
It's just completely out of date. I get it. It's a level up. You're going up how many levels, but you're being rewarded for, like you're rewarded for ranking up your 3 stars as opposed to your 5 stars, even though you're getting all your 5 stars.
Like, for instance, like this week earlier, on one of the level up events, I didn't rank up a single 4, 5, or 6 star. I only ranked up 2 stars and a 3 star.
Okay, yeah.
And I did like, and it cost me less than 500,000 gold to rank all those up.
Right.
I cleared all 5. I cleared all 5 levels.
See, and like that for somebody who's Cavalier, it's pointless and it's just a waste of time. So like it totally needs to be updated.
I think the solo events definitely need to be relooked at.
For
I
sure.
think instead of 3 and 4 star 6 stones, we need to get to the 4 and 5 star 6 stones.
100%.
Yeah, I think it needs to be. Also, you said something earlier, like you're having a hard time ranking up certain classes or ranking up your 5-star.
Well, yeah, just ranking up 5-star champs.
Much of an issue. Like, I could probably right now, if I pulled one champ that I wanted, I could take him from pool to rank 5 right now.
True.
No problem.
But I mean, I feel it's gold and ISO really that comes into the issue.
Gold and ISO, I think gold and ISO breaks down to how much arena you grind. I know people hate to hear
that's what I'm saying. Like that, it shouldn't come down to that with how much you're getting out of like the side event and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not equal. That's my point, I guess. Because if I put more time into it as opposed to having 5 accounts running, I'd probably be able to rank up my champs more on one account.
Essentially, it breaks down to you either pay with money or you pay with time.
Yeah.
So you got to do one or the other.
Exactly.
If you're not doing either, then you're going to be very stagnant.
Fair enough. Which actually brings us to another point, and I think Arena needs like a revamp, and I think it wouldn't be too difficult. One, you were talking about Sig Stones. I think Sig Stones should be in the milestones.
I think they should be.
Generic one, random one, whatever, just in the milestones. Whether you get like 1 or 2 or whatever, like that's sufficient.
But what's it? Usually 10 milestones per arena. If you're doing the feature 5-star one, you should get a 5-star 6 stone like every other kind of give you the arena boost.
Exactly.
Instead of getting arena boost, give us a 5-star 6 stone.
Right. I mean, I think that I would do arena more, and then I'd have more resources, and for sure.
Yeah, I think more people in the arena.
Exactly. And then I think even just, I think somebody else made a good point out there. I forgot who it was. I apologize. But somebody was saying there should be a tier 2 alpha arena and a tier 5 basic arena. I think if you just add more milestones to the arenas that you already have for the basics and the alphas, I think you could accomplish that very easily.
Yeah, it'd probably be something.
Or even if it was just shards or something like that. But
yeah, it'd probably be more shards than anything.
Yeah.
I don't see them
not a whole
adding
lot.
in a whole T5 basic or a whole T2 alpha.
Well, unless you come in like the top 10 or top 100 or something, right?
Yeah, something maybe along the lines.
Yeah, like and,
but again, even a T5, think about what they charge. So if you're looking back at the marketing aspect, what they charge money wise for a T5 basic class catalyst, I can only see them doing it in shards. But if they did that every time the T4 basic came out,
exactly,
you could probably get one a month.
Yeah, or half. Yeah, exactly. And then add that with the glory. I mean, I think, you're getting rewarded for putting in work as opposed to, just having to rank up smaller champs or something. You can put in more work and you're working towards bigger things, I guess.
Right.
While still doing, and even still, like, if you have just more milestones, you're still doing all of that. So, yeah, I mean, I think that would be an easy way for them to kind of sort that out. Anything else on Arena? I mean, I think a lot of people just say there should be a 6-star one and this and that. I mean, I think in general the milestones should kind of be up, kind of updated and all that stuff.
Just updated. It's just time to update some of the rewards.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a really update to any of the rewards in quite some time.
For sure.
For any of the arenas, I think since the feature 5-star basic came out.
Right. Yeah. No. And that's been maybe a year, over a year.
Over a year,
for sure.
Maybe 2.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think definitely small changes could definitely help Arena. So they should check into that. I hope they are. I haven't seen anything on it as far as a roadmap, but they're still we're still probably waiting on their bigger roadmap. So let's hope they.
Yeah, they're gonna release stuff little by little. They're not gonna give us the whole 7-course meal at once.
Why would they? They never have done that in the past. So.
Never done that. But I will say here, this is where I will give them kudos. They never used to tell us anything in the past, and as of late, they're being more and more open about things they want to do. And even when they have a bad idea that the community's like, no, they're like, look, we thought about it. We're taking a step back. We're going to look at this issue and going to hold things back a little bit longer.
I'm not going to give them too much credit on that front because they've only done it once in like 5+ years.
They've done it.
But
I remember when I joined the CCP and once after I joined the CCP. And they've done it a couple times in these last few weeks.
Okay. I guess you would know more there. Cool kid.
Can't take everything away from it.
Fair enough. I mean, I can if I want to, but no. But yeah. So another thing that should definitely be that a lot of people were talking about, and some good ideas that I pulled from was like the crystal reworkings. I think people are you're just bored of the crystals or just more of a quality of life kind of thing. Have you heard any good ideas about what can be done to crystals or how crystals could kind of be revamped? Any good ideas there?
More people wanting Nexus crystals.
Yeah, that's definitely something I saw out there for sure. One good point that I saw on Twitter, Tony Montez, was turn PHCs into 3- and 4-star Nexus once you're uncollected. I could maybe not see them getting rid of the 2-star, but it'd be cool if PHCs were Nexus. Although, I don't know, I still feel like that, like people just wouldn't do it because people aren't a lot of people don't open their PHCs because they take too long. If you add in a Nexus in there, is that not going to take even longer for you to pick your 2-star? I mean, I guess if you do the 3-star, yeah, cool, but I don't know.
Maybe they should do. I mean, they could do. I mean, just throwing out ideals.
For sure.
You get like right now, I got probably 200,000 PHC shards just chilling.
Yeah.
If I had the option of, instead of paying $2,000 for a P or 2,000 shards for a PHC, 4,000 shards for a Nexus, I probably would do that. So up the shard count for the opportunity at a Nexus.
For a Nexus PHC, period?
Versus just using the shards I had to open up a bunch of...
See, I'm just talking about just once you're uncollected or even just once you're Cavalier, make it a Nexus crystal. A Nexus PHC. But, I mean...
I can see that. If you're... In reality, once you're past Cavalier, once you've hit Cavalier, your whole mindset changes. The only reason why you're really opening PHCs at that point are for ISO and gold.
Well, one more. I hate the little red circle thing, so I open it because of those. Yeah, I hate those, so I open it because of that.
It doesn't bother me yet much.
You know, like I stopped opening stuff for tier 4 like class crystals and stuff because I have way too many of them and there's just pointless at this point. So I have had to break that habit of not opening those. So there is like over 1,000, that number up in there, but not in the middle section, because in the middle section I wouldn't be able to handle it, because then I'd be like, well, what if it's a 4-star? Maybe I need ISO. Maybe it's a 5-star that I completely forgot I got 10,000 shards from, even though I check it like 4 times a day. You know, I don't like the red number there, so I gotta open them. But a couple other good things. One good thing I thought was a PPG 83 underscore said, I saw a good idea about making Nexus available for shards. So, like, what if you had a 5-star, if you could use, instead of maybe 15,000 shards for a featured, what if you did a 15,000 shards or 1,250 for a basic Nexus? 12,500 or something like that. I mean, I thought that'd be pretty cool. I'd probably do that. Or I hate offering it in the black ISO market. I think that should probably just be free to everybody, or something like that should be available in general. But I do think it'd be cool to have it in there at least. Or, I mean, I just think having more choice to use your shards. Like somebody else made a good point about making their different crystals. So like I could use 12,500 shards for a bleed crystal, right? So you got all the bleeders in there. So I have more chance to get that.
Yeah, I said something like that maybe for the arena versus
on
the arena side, where instead of every other week being 2 basic champs, maybe have a specific crystal and let the top 400 get. But I like that idea too of, here's all the bleeders, here's all the crit champs, here's all these champs.
Maybe like all of this month, it's just like over what they do, the featured, was it every 60 days that they change the featured, right? So you could just have another crystal that's the bleeders for however long that is. I think, you're going to have to put in the lesser of the champs because they make people bleed. But at the end of the day, it's still lessening, you're kind of lessening that pool, making that pool a little bit smaller.
Exactly. You can target more of a certain thing at that point, at least.
For sure. Another idea I thought I had was, they already do it with the incursion crystals, is why don't you have the incursion crystals offered for shards as well, which is kind of along the lines of what I'm going at. But why can't those be available? Like maybe just redo those to put all of the champs in the incursion crystals, and then make an incursion crystal available along with the featured for shards once a month or something, or along with that. I know I would probably save for the one with Aegon, if I had more of a chance. Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it. I was thinking of doing like an incursion thing because I was really close to. I had like 20,000 incursion shards or whatever they're called. But I looked at the crystal that Aegon's with in that, and it is god awful.
They're rough, man. There's some champs you want to. That's the only crystal I went after for this set had Wasp in it. I think had Wasp and somebody else, and there's no way on God's green earth any of these other crystals I want, because there are a few champs in there I would want, but the ones I don't want are also in there. There's more opportunity to pull those,
Okay.
and I really like my chances with a basic. They're
Nice. Yeah.
cheaper. They're cheaper in artifacts.
Exactly.
And
And I think
if I get shafted on it, then
for sure.
so be it.
Exactly. I think Man Falcon on my YouTube actually said the crystals about ability, you focus on ability, like we were talking about bleeds or immunities and stuff like that. So my apologies, Man Falcon, for not seeing that earlier, but I'm pretty sure he said it before I started talking about it. So thanks for that, man. But yeah, I mean, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, no, I do the basic anyway. You were saying you did the basic from there, anyways, right?
Yeah, I mean, after looking at the rest of the crystals, there's
Exactly.
one crystal I was interested in it, and then I don't like the fact you can only get it one time throughout the 90-day period of the incursion.
Yeah, exactly.
It,
Yeah.
why not make that available for at least 2 or 3 times?
Mm-hmm.
Give me an opportunity. That's the one champ I'm focused on for, i.e., for most people,
Yeah.
Aegon. If I'm focusing on getting Aegon, I still have to play the RNG.
Yeah.
Let me buy the crystal
Yeah.
a couple of times throughout the 90-day period, maybe only once every 30 days.
For sure.
And then let me see if I can pull my Aegon.
Yeah. No, exactly. I think there definitely needs to be a way for people to go after a champ they want. Yeah, it could still be RNG, but make the pool smaller. So you still, and don't make the pool smaller. Like don't make the pool smaller with 5 crappy champs in one champ. It's frustrating and obvious that you like just want to frustrate us. But about like kind of champ reworks, the thing that like I get that it probably does take 3 months. Okay, whatever, it takes 3 months. I get that, but I think they need to start like kind of getting into a habit of it. It really seems like they always say, well, that takes time and that costs money and this, that, and the other thing. Well, it seems like they're making a lot of money because Netmarble's making a lot of other games. So instead of maybe invest a little bit more into our game, make a team that has new champs, make a team that does reworking, like, or whatever it is. But even if it takes 3 months, I think you can have a beta each month. That'd be awesome. People are more involved. I'm sure a lot of people would just focus on betas. Like that could be fun for them, and that's what they do, or whatever. But I think opening that up to being more constant at least gives people a chance that they're working on it, instead of maybe every once in a blue moon they're like, oh hey, we're gonna redo this champ, and then we're gonna come out next month. No, actually we're gonna come out the month after. We still don't really like it the way we want it. We're still gonna do it more. So I don't know. I mean, I think they definitely need to, if they're gonna force us to get crappy champs in the 6-star crystal, because they need to make the pool bigger, because all of the newer champs, huh?
You mean Ant-Man's not a god tier champ?
No, but exactly, and that's what I'm saying. They had to add in all of those champs that they didn't make in a 5-star because all the new champs were 6-star. So you have all these newer champs that are 6 stars that they're offering as 6 stars to sell the crystals. I got it, cool. Now everybody maybe has a chance to get too much of a better champ because they're newer. Oh, well, we got to make the pool bigger. So let's put these crappy champs in there. Like if you're going to give it to us, cool, that's fine. I get it. Whatever. But like make there some sort of light at the end of the tunnel where it's not just every once in a while that you're going to redo a champ. Hey, look, this is the champ that we're doing. We're going to do this one, this one, this. Give us 3 in a row or something. Even if it takes you a whole year, whatever, that's what you're doing. You're getting 4 reworks this year. It's 1 each quarter, whatever. That's not difficult, I don't think. For a game that's one of the top games in the most downloaded, one of the top games, is it really that difficult?
I'm not a game designer, so I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know what is the difficulty level for reworking a champ. So taking it from, all right, we're going to now select, for instance, Hawkbuster. Hawkbuster got talked about getting reworked, about in the summer last year? And then they finally brought out the beta to give us the test on after they did the rework. And now they're taking information from the beta and now implementing that. Which should be coming out here soon. I don't know how soon.
They said it's not. It was supposed to be this month, but it's going to be July.
Yeah, it's been
that
basically a
Hulkbuster
year
comes
from the
out.
time.
And that seems like too long.
It does seem like a long time.
Does it take them a year to make new champs? There's people on
I don't know.
I can't think of his name. I think it's Jim Cassidy or something like that. It makes a new champ rework like every day, and it's actually like viable. They make sense and they work out. I think if one person could have an idea, I don't think it's too difficult to go in there and rework it. Especially these days, the way you like code and write games, I'm sure it's pretty simple. Not simple. I'm not going to take anything away from those people because game designers and coders, because that's a language I just don't have it in me to learn. So I'm not saying it's not that difficult, but a lot of the stuff is kind of like Control F, find this, copy, paste this, or you have like a legend that you just change, right? You just go into the champ, change it, and then it kind of goes back. I get they got to test all this, but again, they got to find new testers because their testers really aren't that good.
Well, I don't think it's anything that they're not that good. I mean, you only get so much time.
Fair, I get it.
It could be 18 months if we
So-
added in more testers.
But that's the thing, it's time. Like in the business world, time is just get more people. And I think they're a big enough company to get more people. I think so. They have like 4 different corporations all over the country. I think they can afford it. They have a whole bunch of customer service that just cut and paste things, responses. Don't you think they can get somebody that actually does some work? That definitely needs some reworking, is their customer service. But you know what? I had this idea when I was first kind of thinking about some changes and stuff. And I think it kind of could play with them, as far as, instead of like punishing us for not having like Red Guardian or something, or a new champ that's coming out, right? Instead of punishing us for that, you can reward us for it as well. But it's still, I'm still encouraged to, buy a crystal to get him because I'm being rewarded for it. For instance, like, kind of like the Act 7 Sabretooth was difficult, and it was obviously for Red Guardian. If you just kind of took that down, that Sabretooth down a little bit, and then make it so, the mechanic of Red Guardian just makes that fight easier, I think you're still getting people to get the game, to get that champion, but you're not punishing people for not having it. And same thing for War. In War they kind of have these champs where you like Flow, you need Crossbones or this or Guillotine 99, so people are going to go for those champs for War. Well, instead of punishing us for that, why don't you just have it so, like, if I have Guillotine 99, like if I'm going in, for instance, on an Aegis node, or however you pronounce that, it's, like I get some sort of benefit for having her on that path. Like, I think that's where I'm kind of thinking of as far as, like, rewarding instead of punishing.
I get it.
So I think, hopefully they're working on kind of that whole champ thing, because it's really frustrating having so many champs that are completely useless in the game. It's like, I don't get it. Like, why, how?
I get it. Because you look at these champs, you're growing up reading the comics, watching the cartoons. Exactly. You're like, oh, I get to play with that champ. And you get the champ, and you're like, eh.
Yeah. It's got a good synergy. Like you're Ant-Man. Like, you got a good synergy for Ghost if you go into Act 6, I guess, right? Because you can't use your Act 4 or your 4-star champions. So, but yeah, man. So I just, at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of really good ideas out there. And as far as like story mode goes, this was another idea I thought was pretty good. This gentleman Arcade out there, he had some really good ideas. Had this really good write up. A lot of fantastic ideas in it. One of them was like, once you beat a path on like a story mode, all the gates or whatever, because they obviously need to rework the gates. They're frustrating. Everybody's been talking about it. But I think
you talk about that.
Yeah, just how dumb the gates are. Like, how you need 5, 6-star cosmic champs or whatever it is, to go down one certain path, or gates or things like that. But, if you could have a way, or that got me thinking of if there was like a path, right? A really difficult path that had like incoming nodes from throughout the rest of the map that was really tough. But if you made it through that path, all of the other gates and all of the other like incoming nodes or whatever were, gone away. So the rest of that path is easier. So if you do choose to buy it, well, you just bought your way through that really, really difficult path. And then there you go. Cool. Or you go the other way where you can knock down each path that makes that one super difficult path really easy at the end of the day. And then you just kind of cruise through it and you're done. So,
Right.
I think that would be cool. I think they really need to, I think they are obviously reworking it. They've listened to everybody about the whole Act 7 thing, and hopefully they're taking the advice that people gave them about Act 6 that they didn't really seem to implement, but implementing it into Act 7 as well. I think that
I think
be smart of them.
I'm hoping they get that figured out to the point where it's enjoyable again. Because I'm not gonna lie, working my way through Act 6 was. People ask me, so what did you think about Abyss? And I said, easier than Act 6.
Okay, really?
Found it more enjoyable. Found the Abyss more enjoyable than Act 6. If that tells you anything about it.
Well, I was just looking forward. I'm just tired of not having Act 6 complete, so I was going to tackle that. But now you're making me doubt that.
Yeah, so that's why I did the initial clear, and then I said, let me go ahead and do my initial clear of Abyss. And honestly, I found that way more enjoyable.
That was way more enjoyable fighting Mephisto like 60 times or however many times you did it. Over exaggerating, but
I did one path. I fought 20 champs, and I fought the Collector at the end, which the Grandmaster fight at the end of Act 6 is fun.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more if I wasn't frustrated and tired when I did it.
fair.
I was frustrated. I was tired.
Yeah.
Ready to be done with it. And so I didn't enjoy it as much then. But looking back on it, I was like, yeah, it was definitely a fun fight.
Okay.
But the overall thing with this was I knew what I was getting into. There were specific things that helped counter certain nodes, and the nodes weren't crazy ramped up.
Okay.
And the attack. So if I caught a 5-piece combo from somebody in the Abyss, I didn't die. Whereas in Act 6-3 and 6-4, if I slipped up and caught a 5-piece combo, I was dead.
Yeah, true. It makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean, so maybe I should reevaluate. Well, I haven't done the initial clear in 6, so I got to do that, I guess, before I do the rest. But yeah, no, that's some valuable advice, I guess, and valuable input. So yeah, man, for sure. Hopefully they redo that stuff. But I mean, that's kind of all the stuff I really had as far as like updates go, as far as like what we'd like to see and stuff like that, which took us a whole hour to go through. There was one thing I did want to go over, and that, kind of that's another thing. Did you want to briefly, we could very briefly go over this 27.1 notes because I don't really think there's a whole bunch to go over. But let me bring those up real quick since I talked about them. But so you have you have Tigra and Hitmonkey coming next month, right?
Yep. Dave and
Deep
Kabam
dives.
John are done deep dives. They're actually out. If you haven't had a chance to look at those yet, go check those out at the Marvel Contest Champion page on YouTube. And they got deep dives on both of those.
For sure. And they're super deep, man. Like he goes pretty in depth. Like you'll get to know that champ in and out before the end of that video. So definitely check that out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see how they go. I don't know. Hitmonkey just kind of seems like another Rocket Raccoon, but obviously updated, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
A little bit more damage.
obviously, yeah. I mean, updated. I guess I'm kind of miffed that that Tigra didn't have her bikini. It's kind of like the whole thing, right? But
Off about that one. That one didn't bother me as much.
nah, it's not that it's like bothersome. It's just weird. It looks weird, because you've always seen her in the bikini. The bikini's like a whole thing, and it's not here. Which I guess they're doing their own thing. Which it's probably PG rated and all that, or is probably what they were going for. So I mean, I guess I understand it, but it's weird, I guess. The other thing I was looking at, I was reading, was the island of Dr. Modoc. So that's like what I'm gathering is going to be kind of like the Sinister Labs, if you will, right? That we had last in August, where you kind of you just get some crazy nodes, right? 4 or 5 champs, right?
I never enjoyed those.
No, I hated them. I was just going to say I didn't do them because I hate them. They're frustrating. I mean, I might have gone in if there was some cool, easy nodes. I'd be like, yeah, I'll give it a go, but the rewards suck. You know, they weren't really worth it. Did you do them like every day or?
One and I quit. I never did them again. Never did them again.
Because that's pretty much what.
Well,
yeah.
Well, this was one side event. I won't be doing this time around.
Right. Yeah. I think every time these whole re-roll events come around, I don't do them.
I've never been a fan of them. Some people love them.
Yeah.
I particularly could care less.
I mean, I think the love of the people who love them. I mean, but even like one of the things the people who I was going to say, people who love them, is if you add them all up at the end of the day, what you look at those rewards. However, I was watching a video on, I think it was Prof Hoff, or his video on the rewards for the Sinister Labs, and they were very not, like, they didn't motivate me to go do the side event at all. And I remember that. I remember going like, why would I do all this for like nothing? For how difficult it is. And then like you get these re-rolls, and the re-rolls aren't very good. So then you got to rely on RNG to, even if you, it wasn't enjoyable. Yeah. So hopefully this go around, yeah, hopefully this go around they change that.
We'll see. You know, I'll look at them when they first come out, and then I'll do them once, and if I say, okay, this isn't too bad, I'll keep doing them. If I think it's too much work for the side event,
exactly.
I won't do it. And I think that's the easiest way for the player base to tell Kabam they do or do not like something.
For sure. But they keep bringing them back, and I feel like if you and I both have that same opinion, a lot of other people probably have the same opinion. So maybe they're not listening. Maybe they need to listen again.
There are people who do like them.
Really?
They like them. They get into them. They do them. They get them done. They get them knocked out. I don't like them.
Fair enough.
I've never liked them. I didn't think they were great for a side event quest. I think it takes a lot of unnecessary time and effort,
resources,
to give this small award.
For sure.
At the end.
Exactly. So yeah. Oh, the other thing I did want to go over real quick was the Alliance tickets. So that's changing right next month, I guess, next Alliance or Quest or whatever for all that. So there's a whole big kind of, going on with that where, and Kabam did address it. So cool. They did kind of come back and say, we do hear you about how we do understand that is probably going to be difficult to run like multiple maps, like the way they were going to do it with tickets. Like say if BG1 was doing map 6 and the rest of the BGs were doing map 5, the people who are doing map 6 are paying for everything and getting the same rewards as everything. So frustrating for those who did the mixed ones. But Kabam said they did listen, so they did kind of address something where they're going to try to spread out the ticket cost.
Yeah, if one, I believe how it will work is if, for instance, if my alliance, if we have one group that runs map 7 and one group, the other two groups run map 6, they would take the cost of all the maps and spread it out amongst everybody in the alliance.
Yeah.
Kind of how it currently is, except for now you're still buying a ticket.
For sure.
Versus...
So they also said that the fix for it probably won't happen until like August or something.
Yeah, it's going to be August. They got to get it into the. I think they said it takes time to get into the next implementation since they've already put this one in the works. Is what they were saying. I don't know why. They go a lot of great detail. And Dan, maybe you know more. I might be wrong. If you're still in the chat,
he's not there anymore.
But yeah, there was something they were saying like it's too tough to get it into since this is already on the roll.
Yeah, for sure.
Already rolling out.
I mean, I get it. It's a thing. Like, they had to address the cheating. They've addressed it. So,
And you have to look at it like that. That was the most important thing. Is how do you get rid of that part of the cheating out?
Yeah, exactly. So, let's hope they get that implemented quick. It sounds like they're, I mean, like you were saying earlier, it does sound like there's more of kind of open communication, if you will. And it does seem like I wouldn't say transparent would be the good word. I'd say maybe like a frosted glass if you will. um, you know, but at least they are trying, I guess it seems. So hopefully it gets better. You know, hopefully everybody kind of, hopefully there's better communication. They're more transparent, everything like that. So moving forward. But there's one more thing I did want to get over before we kind of go is that I just want to kind of mention like Deacon and other Gabe. They're doing that whole thing on Twitter where there's like the tournament and stuff. They're putting a heck of a lot of work into it, and I think it's definitely deserves a mention. I'm having a lot of blast too because we're still in it. I picked Venom Rocket out of the Feline Champ bracket to go to the champ to go to the final round, and then Noel from the Spider and Heralds of Galactus one, and they're still in it. So they're pretty popular every time. Well, I guess the Venom and Titus battle, I guess, was pretty close, but they're getting pretty close. It's super fun learning about all these champs, seeing how people go and how people thought about them. Have you seen any of that? I mean, I know you haven't like kind of you didn't help. Not that you didn't help me with it, but that he didn't partake, I guess. But have you saw anything on Twitter of it?
No, I mean, every time when I when I get the chance to actually look at Twitter and scroll through it,
yeah.
I've seen it every blue moon, but
Okay.
nothing where I've actually followed it. I wish I would have followed it more from the beginning. Then probably I would have been more apt to stay on top of it the entire time.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's been, like I said, I've been having a blast. Just I had more of a blast, I think. What's it called? Like just filling it out, because really what you're doing is you just kind of go in there and you would look at the champs, and then you would see which champ you think would, like who do you think would be chosen, like out of this, kind of, they did a poll, and it just, you would just guess to see who would pick. There was one, it was funny. So when I was going into it, I knew Katie Candy was involved to do it, and the feline section and all that. There was one like cats and, I know she's into cats and stuff. She's got little cat things and stuff. So I thought she was going to go for one champ, and then I saw her bracket and she didn't even choose that champ. I was like, my strategy didn't work. But it's been, I don't know, it's been super fun. So like, there's still Venom, the Rocket, and Noel. So, symbiotes all the way. I hope that goes. Super Gaming. Check out Other Gabe and Deacon's Twitter. It's like a bracket for like, because Other Gabe does the wish list poll. So he just kind of comes up with these champs and comes up with like synergies and stuff like that to see who would you want in the game next, and just kind of everybody goes and thinks about it and comments and has their thought, and I think it's pretty cool. Comes up with different synergies that they would you would be able to see in the game, and he puts a lot of work into it, so it's definitely super fun to just check it out and whatnot. But there was one champ I thought that was cool, and I really only chose him because I thought he was cool, and it was Box. He's just like a huge dude, kind of like Kingpin, it seemed like, and he didn't make it very far. So, but yeah, so there's two champs in there that were like at the very end that he threw in. I guess he had some empty spots, right? They had some empty spots, so they threw in some kind of like underdogs or just off the wall champions, and like a couple of them were still in it. So Venom Rocket, which is just like a symbiote rocket, like Rocket Raccoon version, right? He was just kind of thrown in there last minute, and I think he's going all the way. That's my opinion. But he's got to go up against, I think, Blood Axe next. So people seem to like him. But I don't know. It just seems pretty cool to check it all out and just have everybody go at him. So look forward to seeing that turn out. But one of them was Dr. Bong too. Who, like, that champ, he's just like a bell essentially in his hand. He just hits his head really hard, and there's a big bong and like knocks people out. Like, there's some crazy champs, man. But yeah, man, like I said, it's been fun. So, but so everybody go check out Gabe or Deacon. They're both kind of participating and doing that. So it'll be, check out
Deacon. So go check out his page
for sure. Anything else you had on tap, sir?
No, we covered pretty much everything. Yeah,
I'm done with M-Rock, by the way. So, Just wanted to put that out there again. But anyways, yeah. So that's all I had. Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. So everybody, yeah. Thanks for joining us. Really do appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for joining the conversation too. Definitely makes it more fun. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next week.
All right, y'all. Later.
Peace out. All right, let's kick Craig out of here.
Craig.
Come on.
Yeah, I am. For those who are still here hanging out, going to try to get Deacon to come on. And it's when I told Super that I was going to have Deacon on to talk about comic book stuff.
Oh,
Super's
nice.
like, "Can I come on?"
Nice. That'd be fun.
They have Super. Yeah, talking about comics. I don't know when. I'm gonna try to get Deacon's schedule to see what Sunday would be a good one for him.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun.
Next week we got a guest coming through next week, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that. I always forget to mention that. I got to put that on like my little list here. But yeah, Voidmonger from the Symbiote Empire. I've never seen anybody go from like beginner to. I mean, he's in a different community now because he's outgrown us because he's doing map 7. But in probably 6 months or something, he went from a beginner alliance to map 7. I mean, it's just crazy. But he's also super helpful, super knowledgeable, and all that stuff. So probably have a good chat. I also think, you guys. I think he said, I wanted to bring people on to talk about champs, so at least we gives us something to talk about. I think he was going to talk about Captain Movie Marvel, and I know you have her, so you guys could probably have a little chat about it, compare strategies and stuff.
I have no strategy.
Just
Perry. Go.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a strat. Like, I got her in one of my alt accounts. I got her as a my first 5-star. So, like, awesome.